Today, in business schools, leadership is taught in multiple streams. Did you write this book for a particular audience? Do you think the students of management today are going to take lessons from this? More importantly, if some of the lessons, if they take from this book, and as entrepreneurs, if they tell their investors that they are taking lessons from this book, are they less likely to be funded? Do you think that fear may exist in the minds of the students, the future leaders?
Well, I don't know if they will be funded or not. To be very honest, we wrote this book because we thought there are lessons to be learned. There are lessons to be learned from one of the most complex stories ever written. When we wrote this book, we thought that this book is a book for the masses, in the sense that somebody who is mature, somebody who is even somebody who's doing undergraduate, graduate studies, doing a PhD, who's now working in corporates or who is already a leader. I think there are lessons in the story for everybody, because these are life's conundrums. This is not just a leader's problem. This is a problem that everybody faces. And we did discuss the identity issue. That is not just leaders' issue. That is an issue everybody faces. So I think this is what we thought, that here is a beautiful story. And there are some lessons that are truly Indian. There is a story that is truly Indian. There are lessons that can be derived, applicable for almost everyone across the world. And so Gita is a book that is not just read in India. Right? We all know this. Gita is read around the world, is taught around the world. We talk about Gita, but we also, Gita was what was told just before the war was to begin. So Gita is a small part. And as I said in the beginning, Mahabharata, the epic, is everything that happens and the build up to the war. So war is a small part and Gita is a part of the war. But then there is a huge amount of backdrop that is painted to actually say and talk about all the complexities that happen. So there is a very complex story highlighting the flaws. And truly today, as I mentioned, I truly believe, and I tell everybody, that we are all flawed beings, and let us accept that and then see what we can do with our lives. Okay, nobody is perfect. The epics shows that even Krishna is not perfect. So we've got to make choices. We have to think about situations carefully and then see what we can do with our lives, and how can we make our lives more effective. Maybe keeping these lessons that we talked about. Even if you're not bothered about the lessons, read the stories, because there are many stories that we narrate in the book about these characters. So I think this was a book we wanted to write to highlight the beauty of our scriptures, the beauty of what is Indian, and then the lessons that can be derived for managers at all levels, students and then would-be managers and then practicing managers. For entrepreneurs, well, keep these lessons in mind. Keep these lessons in mind, and remember, maybe you have a small startup. Remember, you may become big in some time. Remember that the life will throw dilemmas before you, where you will have to choose between right and right. You will have to manage paradoxes. Okay, you will have to think. Always remember the identity issues therein. So as entrepreneurs, remember that the life will throw many challenges. So there could be some lessons that you can pick up on the way and then work with it.
Yeah, thanks, Vishal. A couple of things I observed. One is this book is timely because our economy is growing. new leaders are emerging. The new generation of leaders are emerging. The startup culture is catching up in India. A lot of startups being launched. And students are open to pursuing entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And Indian leaders are in big demand around the world. Previously it used to be only Indian techies. Today, Indian management experts are in big demand around the world. And this is a major contribution to not just the leadership literature, but to management literature in general, I would say.